Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my predicted 11 for Manchester United's game against Crystal Palace. So I think Ralph Rangnick will go with the 4-2-2 formation. So in goal, David De Gea. David De Gea was in goal for the game against Arsenal recently. De Gea endured a bizarre moment against Arsenal because De Gea went down in the build-up to the Emil Smith Rowe goal. It was actually Fred that stamped on De Gea in the build-up. De Gea did make some good saves against Arsenal to deny Aubameyang and Gabriel. De Gea did well in the game against Chelsea last weekend. He made some good saves in the first half to deny Callum Hudson-Odoi and Rudiger. He also did well in the game against Villarreal the other week. He made some world-class saves in that game. This season is David De Gea's 11th season at Man United, so he has been a long servant. He's been with us since the Ferguson era. He has got under 2 years left on his contract and he receives £375,000 a week. He has won everything domestically at the football club and he's made over 500 appearances in all competitions. He's made over 300 appearances in the Premier League. Revert back to last summer, David De Gea reclaimed the number 1 spot back as he did decide to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks to fight for the starting place, and it did mention at the time that De Gea was determined to fight for his Man United future. Now, at right back, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, if he's fit. Bissaka missed the game against Arsenal recently with a hand injury. If Bissaka is not fully fit, then I'm going to go with Diego Dalot. Dalot really impressed me against Arsenal. I thought defensively he was good. He got into some good positions. He showed some good attacking intent and he played a big part in the second goal against Arsenal. You know, Dalot only plays when Bissaka is not available, but Dalot has done well in quite a few games he's been involved in for Manchester United. Last season, Dalot was out on loan with AC Milan, and reflecting on that, he gained some experience. Man United got Dalot from Porto for around £19 million, and Dalot's got a contract with Man United until 2023. The 2 centre-halves, I'm going to go with Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire. Victor Lindelof wasn't too bad against Arsenal recently. I do have my reservations about Lindelof. I think, Lindelof needs to be dropped and we need to play Bailly ahead of him because Bailly is a far superior centre-half to Lindelof, but obviously we're not going to play Bailly ahead of Lindelof. Lindelof, though, has had his good games at Man United, but he's had a lot of bad games. Manchester United got Lindelof from Benfica back in 2017 for around £31 million. Lindelof's got a contract with the club until 2024. Harry Maguire, he played against Arsenal. He returned from suspension. Maguire obviously didn't play any part against Chelsea last weekend because he was suspended. Maguire got 2 yellow cards in the 4-1 defeat to Watford. Maguire has been poor in a lot of games this season for Man United, and he's actually been worse since he recovered from that calf injury. Maguire had ligament damage in his ankle towards the end of last season. Manchester United overpaid for Harry Maguire, got him for 80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club. Left back, I'm going to go with Alex Telles because Luke Shaw is a doubt for this game. Luke Shaw is out with a head injury. Revert back to Telles though. Telles has played in the last 3 games and Telles has really impressed me. You know, Telles played well against Arsenal recently. He played well against Chelsea last weekend and he played very well in the game against Villarreal the other week. You know, Telles only plays when Luke Shaw is not available. Earlier on this season, Telles had an injury. The reason Manchester United brought Telles in was to provide competition for Luke Shaw. Man United got Telles for around 15.4 million with add-ons included. Now the 2 centre defensive midfielders, I'm going to go with Fred and Donny van de Beek. Fred will keep his place in the team. Fred's done very well in his last 2 games. Against Arsenal recently, Fred got an assist for the Fernandez goal. Fred also won the penalty against Arsenal. He was brought down by Martin Odegaard. It was a stonewall penalty and it was the correct decision to give a penalty. Last weekend against Chelsea, you know, Fred did very well in the second half. Don't forget he squandered a chance that came from a mistake from Mendy. I'm hoping that Fred can continue with these good performances. You know, Manchester United got Fred for around 50 million from Shakhtar Donetsk a few years ago now. Got to make an admission regarding Fred. When he was in Ukraine, he was an exceptional player. As for Van der Beek, he didn't start against Arsenal, but he did come on in the game. He didn't start last weekend against Chelsea either, but he came on. He did start in the number 10 ahead of Bruno Fernandez in the game against Villarreal the other week, and he put a good performance out. Van der Beek's last goal was the 4-1 defeat to Watford. Van der Beek's only scored 2 goals so far for Manchester United. If Van der Beek is to get his opportunities that he's been demanding under Ralf Rangnick, then there's a chance that will persuade him to stay. Because revert back to when we had Solskjaer, or Van der Beek wasn't getting enough opportunities, and reflecting on that, he was very frustrated. You know, Van der Beek has been at Manchester United for over a year and a half. He's endured a difficult time. This season is his second full season at Man United. Manchester United got Donny van der Beek for 40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. Van der Beek's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Now the 2 attacking midfielders. I'm going to go with Bruno Fernandez and Jaden Sancho. Bruno Fernandez recently played against Arsenal. Put a decent performance out, obviously. He scored. The build-up play to the Fernandez goal was fantastic. I think that was the first time Fernandez has scored since the 4-1 win against Newcastle earlier on this season. Fernandez obviously played against Chelsea last weekend. I thought defensively he was good in that game, but he lacked attacking intent. He obviously didn't start against Villarreal the other week, but he came on and made an impact because he got an assist. This season though, Fernandez has had quite a few games where he's looked off the pace, but on the other side of things, Fernandez has been consistent in a lot of games for Manchester United. He's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. You know, we got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Fernandez has been a Manchester United player for almost 2 years now. You know, Fernandez has won awards at Man United reflecting on his good performances. Revert back to earlier on this season, Fernandez did make it clear that he wants to stay at Man United. And when he first came to Man United, he said, "I've come to Manchester to win trophies." Just want to smoke my cig then. Fernandez has got a contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. Jaden Sancho. He recently played against Arsenal. Weren't too bad, but wasn't as good as he was in the games against Chelsea and Villarreal. But have you noticed we are now starting to see the best of Jaden Sancho? You know, Sancho has scored 2 goals for the club so far, because Sancho scored against Chelsea and he also scored against Villarreal. You know, revert back to when Man United had Solskjaer, you know, we wasn't getting the best out of Sancho because obviously Solskjaer was playing him out of position, and there was quite a few games Sancho didn't even play in when we had Solskjaer. You know, Manchester United got Sancho for 78 million with add-ons included. Man United paid around 73 million up front. He's got a contract with Man United until June 2026 as an option of a further year. The 2 strikers, I'm going to go with Cristiano Ronaldo, if fit, and Marcus Rashford. Now, on my last video, I give you the news on Cristiano Ronaldo. It said Cristiano Ronaldo is a major doubt for Manchester United's game against Crystal Palace. It said Ronaldo is suffering with a knee issue. Ronaldo came off in the game against Arsenal. I think he picked up the injury when he was celebrating. Ronaldo got a brace against Arsenal, including the winner from the penalty spot. Ronaldo now has over 800 goals in his career, and he's got 12 goals for Manchester United in all competitions since he re-signed. Ronaldo didn't start against Chelsea last weekend. I was shocked. Ronaldo started on the bench against Chelsea. Ronaldo scored a very good chip the other week in the 2-0 win against Villarreal. Ronaldo is the best player in the world overall. You know, he's won 30 odd trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Don't forget, Ronaldo got named Player of the Month for October. And he also got named Premier League Player of the Month for September. Ronaldo has got a contract with Man United until 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United. Ronaldo wears the number 7 shirt. Man United got Ronaldo for 19.8 million with add-ons included. And Marcus Rashford, he played against Arsenal recently. I don't think he was that good, but he still managed to get an assist in the game. Rashford played up top alongside Sancho against Chelsea last week. I thought Rashford was poor in the first half against Chelsea, but he put a very good performance out in the second half. Don't forget, at one point, Rashford was out with a shoulder injury for a while, and at one point, he had to have an operation on his shoulder. Rashford has been part of Manchester United for a long time. You know, he's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. Rashford's got a contract with Man United until 2023. So that's how I think Manchester United could line up against Crystal Palace. This game against Crystal Palace will be Ralph Rangnick's first game in charge of Manchester United. Revert back to earlier on this week, Rangnick got announced as Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then after that, Rangnick will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. As you all know, Rangnick has been given a 100 million transfer budget for January. Rangnick wants Amadou Haidara at Manchester United. Amadou Haidara has a 33 million release clause. Of course, Rangnick knows Haidara well. The other day, Manchester Evening News said that Ralph Rangnick wants Timo Werner reunion at Man United, and there's a couple of other players he wants as well. Before Manchester United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Manchester United are coming into this game against Crystal Palace on the back of a 3-2 win against Arsenal. Crystal Palace, they're coming into this game on the back of a 1-0 defeat to Leeds. The Crystal Palace manager is Patrick Vieira. Crystal Palace appointed him in earlier on this year. Patrick Vieira has got a contract with Crystal Palace until 2024. Before Crystal Palace, Vieira managed Nice. Before then, he managed New York City. And before then, he managed Manchester City's under-19s. Crystal Palace enjoyed a very good start to the season as well. They've slipped away, though, in recent weeks. Before Patrick Vieira, Crystal Palace had Roy Hodgson. Roy Hodgson left Palace at the end of last season. Now, I do know quite a few of the players that Crystal Palace have got. Revert back to what I mentioned on the preview. Obviously, Crystal Palace have got Jordan Ayew. You know, he's definitely one of their key players. Palace have also got Christian Benteke. Crystal Palace have also got Wilfried Zaha. Wilfried Zaha is a former Manchester United player. I think Wilfried Zaha is probably the best player Crystal Palace have got. Crystal Palace have also got Robert Street. They've also got Mateta. They've also got Odsonne Edouard. They got him last summer from Celtic. Palace have also got Jeffrey Schlupp. They've got Nathan Ferguson. Ferguson's out with injury. Crystal Palace have also got James MacArthur. Sorry. Yeah, he's out with injury at the moment. They've got Anderson. He's out with injury at the moment. Palace have also got Joe Ward. Joe Ward is suspended for this game. Palace have also got James Tompkins. They've got Martin Kelly. I think he's a defender. Palace have also got Nathaniel Clyne. Nathaniel Clyne is a former Liverpool player. Crystal Palace have also got Conor Gallagher. I think he's on loan from Chelsea at Palace. Palace have also got Will Hughes. Palace got him from Watford. So there you go. The goalkeepers Crystal Palace have got, obviously they've got Jack Butland. They've got that Remy Matthews. And they've got Gaiato as well, if I pronounce his name correctly. Palace won this fixture last season 3-1. It was the opening game of last season. The game at Selhurst Park last season was 0-0.
Charlie, will you go and get some bread from the Sparfers?
Yeah.
We haven't hardly got any. It's gone, we've only got one. So.
Yeah, I will.
Go get it.
So, there you go. But Manchester United are missing quite a few players. You know, obviously Matic, he recently picked up an injury. You know, Bissaka's recently had a hand injury. Pogba, he's still out with a thigh injury. Pogba's out for the rest of the year. You know, Varane, he's still out with a hamstring injury. Cavani, he's still out with injury as well. You know, Shaw, he's had a concussion. So there you go. Mason Greenwood, obviously, he's recovered from COVID. I think he's been on the bench for the last 2 games. After Crystal Palace, Manchester United play Young Boys in the group stage of the Champions League. Well, it's Manchester United's final game of the group. It's a meaningless game because Manchester United are already in to the last 16 of the Champions League. So, for the game against Young Boys, I'm expecting Manchester United to rotate heavily. Our next league game after Crystal Palace is Norwich. You know, Manchester United should be winning that. Manchester United will get a permanent manager at the end of the season, and there has been quite a few names linked with the permanent role at Man United. Obviously, Roberto Mancini was mentioned not so long ago. Pochettino's also been mentioned. I still believe Pochettino is the favourite to become Man United's next permanent manager. Brendan Rodgers has been mentioned, and not so long ago, Erik ten Hag was mentioned. But revert back to Ralph Rangnick, let's see what he can do. I'm convinced he can get the best out of these group of players. I like the way he develops young players as well, Rangnick, and he could be capable of winning a trophy or two as Man United's interim manager. This Rangnick's got a decent pedigree behind him. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. Man United sacked Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and over a week ago now, Manchester United sacked Solskjaer following the 4-1 defeat to Watford. As you all know, Solskjaer gave a farewell interview after he got sacked, and Solskjaer got emotional in that farewell interview, which was obviously understandable because Ollie adores the club. Because Ollie was part of the club for so long. He was Manchester United manager for almost 3 years, and he enjoyed 11 years as a player, so that's almost 14 years in total. Not so long ago, Michael Carrick stepped down as Manchester United's first team coach. Carrick was Man United's interim manager. He did manage 3 games. He won 2 games and he drew 1. That was good. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.